Hey guys, it's Enan here with Udroid Mania, and I've had my Sony Xperia Z2 for about a week now, and it's time for my review. Let's get to it. The Xperia Z2 sits dead smack in the middle between the Samsung Galaxy S5 and the HTC One M8. To some, the build quality may not be quite as nice as the M8, but then it's leaps and bounds ahead of the Galaxy S5. One thing for sure though, this phone feels solid and will definitely turn heads. You'll want to immediately put a case on this phone for two reasons. One, because it's a fingerprint magnet, and two, for protection against accidental drops and scratches, since this phone is covered in glass. At first glance, this phone looks a lot like the Z1, but I'm here to tell you it's not the same phone. This all-aluminum chassis is sandwiched between glass on the front and back, with every inch of everything important that matters being covered by flaps. It has a real premium look and feel to it. Using glass with rubberized edges around the side makes the Z2 feel like a premium device without a doubt. As for dimensions, the Z2 comes in at 146.8mm tall, it's 73.3mm wide and 8.2mm thick. It weighs just 163 grams. Needless to say, this phone feels great in the hand. Since I have been using my Galaxy Note 3 as my daily driver, I had to put this phone up against it. Now I know the S5 is newer, but for me the Galaxy Note 3 better suited my lifestyle. The Z2 is slightly smaller than the Note 3 and there's no S Pen, so I had to ask myself, am I really going to miss it? I think I can live without it. Given the height of this phone, I like that the power button and the volume rocker sits on the side of the phone, in the spot where my thumb naturally falls. I like what Samsung has done with the back cover of the Note 3, but I appreciate the glass back of the Z2 more. It's simply stunning. Even though the Note 3 has a larger display with colors that pop, I find myself drawn to the Z2 over and over again. From its simple yet elegant notification light to the dual front-facing stereo speakers, I'm liking this phone. The Xperia Z2 has a hefty 20.7 megapixel G-Lens shooter with image stabilization and an LED flash on the back. Exposure on this camera was easy to nail, especially for those that want to use the superior auto. If you're more daring like me, then you can hit up those manual controls. Since the camera is one of the things that sold me with this phone, I plan to get the most out of it that I can. With this phone, you can take pictures to rival the Galaxy S5 and are way beyond the HTC M8. If you haven't seen my Galaxy S5 quick video test, make sure you take a look at that. For me, I spend a large part of my screen time on my Xperia Z2 consuming media. Since my daily commute is over 2 hours each way, I like to watch movies. With this 5.2-inch IPS LCD screen, I can't go wrong. Just take a look at how good 424 ppi is. I'm telling you guys, I can't get enough of it. Now, I didn't have the first iteration of the device or the Z1, but I know that Sony were held back by their displays. With the Z2, however, Sony finally has one of the best in the business. And in case I happen to get a little something on my phone while I'm watching those movies, Sony's got me covered. When I'm not watching movies, I'm doing my next favorite thing, and that's listening to music. The Sony Walkman app works great for this, and now as you might know, I'm a big fan of Jet Audio Plus music player, and there's some things I'm going to miss about that, but I can't hate on Sony for this one. And if all else fails, then I get my game on to pass some time. In all cases, the Xperia Z2 never let me down. This phone has a lot to offer and I'm almost completely satisfied. I've switched over from my Galaxy Note 3 and so far I'm not looking back. I'll be using this phone until the next big thing comes along. After having this phone for about a week, if I had to complain about anything, it would be the quality of the calls. Sometimes they sound airy and spacey, and I do wish that there was less noise when I'm listening to a call. In terms of the keyboard, I do find that the keys are a little too close together for my fingers, and I often make lots of mistakes when typing. I find myself constantly cleaning the screen on this phone as it attracts tons and tons of fingerprints. I'm not sure that I like that. It makes the phone feel grimy and it just takes away from the overall elegance. Now overall guys, I gotta say the Sony Xperia Z2 is truly an excellent smartphone. It's got excellent specs and can even go head to head with the Galaxy S5 and the HTC M8. The Sony skin is full of features, the build is gorgeous, and the performance is top notch. I know there's issues with the 4K video recording, but I'm not going to be using that anyway. So I'll give Sony a pass on that for now. For me, this phone does just about everything I'm looking for and does it well. The Xperia Z2 has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 quad-core processor, that's the same as the Galaxy S5, and the HTC One M8. It's clocked at 2.3 GHz and it offers a market-leading 3 gigs of RAM. In my mind, this phone's a beast in every aspect of the word. I think that Sony really upped their game and this phone is definitely a contender. It's here to stay. This phone is a premium device, it's top-notch, and one you're going to enjoy. Now that this phone has become my daily driver, I can't say that I'll be looking back. So there you have it guys, thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, thumbs up this video, and I'll talk to you in the next one.